Hi, Capricorn. Welcome back to Moonveil Tarot. And if you're new here, hello and welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so I have to be really honest with you before we even start today because the energy that came through when I was shuffling was the kind that made me stop and just sit with it for a moment because I felt something that I do not always feel in readings. And that was urgency, like not excitement urgency, but someone needs to hear this urgency. And I want to be very clear, this reading is not coming from a place of fear or negativity or wanting to alarm you. It is coming from a place of care, genuine care. For the person watching this, because here is the thing, most of the time, the universe sends us messages about people coming in, about love arriving, about abundance opening up. And those messages are beautiful, and I love delivering them. But sometimes the most loving thing the universe can do is send a different kind of message, a warning. And today, that warning is for you about someone specific who is either already in your life or trying to get into it. And your guides want you to see them clearly before you go any further. And I want to say the word selfish might feel harsh, but what I mean by it in the context of this reading is someone who operates from a place of what can I get from this rather than what can I contribute. Someone whose primary consideration in any relationship is their own comfort, their own benefit, their own needs, and who gives only as much as is necessary to keep getting what they want. And that kind of person can cause real damage, not because they are a monster, but because they are simply not capable right now of giving you what you deserve. So take a deep breath with me. Get grounded, and let's look at the full picture, because the full picture is what will protect you. Okay, starting with an oracle card to set the energy. What feeds from you cannot love you? What feeds from you cannot love you? And I want to sit with that for a moment because this oracle card is the whole warning in 6 words. What feeds from you? What takes from you? What draws from your energy, your warmth, your generosity, your time, your love, your resources cannot simultaneously genuinely love you because real love gives as much as it receives. Real love is invested in your well-being, not just in what it can draw from it. And this oracle card is asking you to look honestly at whether this person gives as much as they take, because the answer to that question is everything. Okay, let me pull the first tarot cards for who this person actually is. At their core, the 7 of Swords, the Devil, the 5 of Pentacles reversed, and the Moon. Okay, the 7 of Swords, the Devil, the 5 of Pentacles reversed, and the Moon together for who this person actually is. Let me walk through everyone carefully. The 7 of Swords first, which is the card of someone who takes strategically, who moves in ways designed to benefit themselves, and who does not always consider what their choices cost other people. And what this card is telling me is that this person is operating with an agenda. Like they know what they want from you and they are moving toward it with intention. And the 7 of Swords person is clever. They are not obvious about this. They do not announce their intentions. They just quietly take what they came for. And then the Devil, which in this context is about the addictive quality of this connection. Like there is something about this person that is hard to step back from, even when you can feel that something is off. They have a way of pulling you back in, of making you feel like maybe I was wrong. Maybe things will be different. Maybe this time. And that quality, that magnetic pull, is one of the things your guides want you to be most careful of, because it can keep you in something long past the point where it is good for you. And then the Five of Pentacles reversed, which is showing me that this person may present as more stable, more resourced, more capable than they actually are. Like, the reversed Five of Pentacles is the card of hidden lack, of someone who appears fine on the outside, but who is operating from an internal scarcity. And what that internal scarcity does is make them take from others to fill what is empty inside them. And the problem is that it never fills, because the emptiness is not something other people can fix. And then the Moon, which is the hidden things card, and in this position, the Moon is showing me that there is a significant gap between who this person presents themselves as and who they actually are. Like, the version you have been given is carefully selected, and there is more that has not been shown. And your guides want you to be aware that what you know is not the full picture. Okay, let me pull cards for the specific ways their selfishness shows up. Like, what does it actually look like in your day-to-day interactions? The Four of Cups, the Five of Wands, the Eight of Cups, and the Three of Swords. Okay, these four together for how it actually shows up. Let me be honest, the Four of Cups first, which is the withdrawn, unavailable, taking without fully engaging card. And what this is showing me is that this person takes your emotional energy, your attention, your care, but does not match it. Like, you show up and they are present enough to receive, but not fully invested in return. And that imbalance creates this exhausting dynamic where you are always giving and always hoping that this time they will give back as fully. And then the Five of Wands, which is constant friction. And I feel like what this card is showing me is that being around this person requires a lot of energy. There is always something to navigate, always something that creates tension, always something that leaves you feeling slightly depleted rather than filled up. And good relationships, real ones, should not feel like constant work. They should have ease in them. And the Five of Wands is telling you that ease is not what this connection offers. And then the Eight of Cups, and in this context, the Eight of Cups is showing me their pattern of emotional withdrawal. Like, they come in close enough to get what they need, and then they pull back, and the cycle repeats in and out, close and then distant. And that cycle is by design, even if they are not fully conscious of it, because it keeps you in a state of reaching and giving more, trying to get back to the closeness that felt real for a moment. And then the Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak and disappointment card. And what this card is showing me is the impact of all of the above on your heart. Like, this is not a neutral situation. This is something that has been causing you real pain, real disappointment, real moments of, why is this so hard? Why does this not feel right? Why do I keep hoping for something that does not seem to fully arrive? And your guides see that pain and they want it to stop. Okay, now let me pull cards for what this person's real intention is in relation to you, what they actually want from this connection. The Five of Cups, the Page of Swords reversed, and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Okay, these three together, for their actual intention, this is really telling the Five of Cups first. And in this position, for their intention, the Five of Cups is showing me that this person is coming to you from a place of their own loss, their own grief, their own unresolved things, and they are looking for you to be the salve for that, to fill what is empty, to be the two cups still standing in their otherwise depleted world. And the problem with that is that you cannot be someone's healing without it costing you something. And they are not asking you if you are willing to pay that cost. They are just drawing on it. And then the Page of Swords reversed, which is gossip and manipulation and information being used strategically. And what this card is showing me about their intentions is that there may be things being said or done that are not entirely transparent, like what they tell you and what they tell others may not be consistent. And the Page of Swords reversed moves in careful ways that are designed to maintain access while avoiding accountability. And then the Wheel of Fortune reversed, which is someone whose luck is shifting, whose circumstances are becoming harder. And what I feel like this card is showing me about their intention is that you represent something stable to them, something they can rely on, something that feels like a lifeline at a time when other things are not going well. And that is not the same as genuinely wanting something real with you, that is wanting what you provide, which is a very different thing. Okay, now let me look at you, because this reading is ultimately for you. And I want to understand where you are. 3 cards for your energy right now: the High Priestess, Strength, and the Emperor. Oh, these 3 for you. This is such a powerful combination, and it is telling me everything I need to know about who you are in this situation. The High Priestess first. And what this card is telling me is that you already know, like somewhere in your body, somewhere in your gut, there is already a knowing that something is off here, that the give and take is unequal, that what you are receiving does not match what you are giving. And the High Priestess is the universe validating that knowing, telling you, trust it. It is accurate. It has always been accurate. And then Strength, that quiet, unshakable inner power. And what this card is showing me is that you are not helpless in this situation. You have everything you need to make the right decision, to set the boundary, to create the distance, to protect yourself without guilt, without second guessing, without needing their permission. You have the strength, and your guides are asking you to use it. And then the Emperor, which is your authority, your right to decide who gets access to you and at what level. And what this card is saying is that you are the one in charge here, not them. You decide how much energy you give, how close they get, how long this continues. And the Emperor does not negotiate that authority with anyone. Okay, now let me pull the main spread, 5 cards for what your guides recommend and where you end up if you honor the warning. Pulling these now: the High Priestess, the Chariot, Justice, the Star, and the World. Okay, the High Priestess, the Chariot, Justice, the Star, and the World for what your guides recommend. And where this goes, let me walk through every one. The High Priestess again, repeating, because the universe really wants you to hear this. Trust your inner knowing. Trust the quiet voice that has been saying, something is not right here. Do not let their charm or their need or the pull of the Devil card connection override what you know to be true. Your inner knowing is your most powerful guide right now, and it has been right all along. And then the Chariot, which is directed, will moving on your own terms, in your own direction. And what this card as guidance is telling you is to take the reins back. Like right now, the dynamic has been pulling you in a direction that is not fully yours. And the Chariot is saying, decide where you are going and go there on your terms, at your pace without waiting for permission or explanation or someone else's cooperation. And then justice, which is truth surfacing. And what justice in this position is telling you is that if you take the time to be honest with yourself about this situation, the truth will be very clear. Like when you strip away the hope and the pull and the moments when it felt good and just look at the pattern, the consistent evidence of who this person actually is, it will be clear. And that clarity is what allows you to make a real decision. And then the star, the star showing up as your outcome is so healing, because what this card is telling you is that on the other side of this warning, on the other side of the boundary, the distance, the decision to protect yourself is hope, real hope. The star's gentle healing light filling the space that this person's taking energy has been occupying, and that space, once cleared, becomes available for something genuinely good to enter. And then the world as the final card, completion, wholeness, arrival, and the world at the end of this spread is the universe saying, honoring this warning, protecting yourself, creating distance from what drains you, leads to the world card, leads to the most complete, fulfilled, whole version of your life that is available to you, and that life cannot fully exist while this person has the level of access they currently have. Okay, tea leaf cards now. 6 of them. The first tea leaf card is a cup with a crack in it. A cup with a crack in it. And this image is so specific because a cracked cup cannot hold water. And what this card is showing me is that what this person is offering you has a fundamental crack in it. Like, it looks like a cup. It looks like it should be able to hold something, but whatever is poured in quietly leaks out through the crack, and you keep noticing that what you put in is not being held, and no amount of pouring more in repairs the crack because the crack is in them, not in the cup you are pouring from. The next tea leaf card is a bird in an open cage. Oh, a bird in an open cage. And this image is for you, specifically because the cage is open and the bird is still inside. Not because it cannot leave, but because it has not yet decided to. And what this card is telling you is that you are not trapped. You have never been trapped. The door of this situation is open, and your guides are gesturing toward it, saying, you can leave whenever you are ready. The choice and the power has always been yours. The next tea leaf card is a hand taking without offering. A hand taking without offering. And this is the most direct image we have pulled today because it is showing me the fundamental dynamic of this person's behavior in the simplest possible terms. A hand that takes without offering anything in return. And your guides want you to sit with that image and honestly ask yourself, when was the last time this person gave you something without wanting something back? When was the last time they showed up for you without it serving them in some way? And the answer to that question is the most important information you have. The next tea leaf card is your energy as a garden being overwatered by someone else. Your energy as a garden being overwatered by someone else. And this is such a specific image because overwatering is not neglect. It is not drought. It is the damage caused by too much taking of one specific thing, your energy, your warmth, your attention, and just as overwatering drowns the roots of a plant, too much drawing from your energy by someone who does not replenish it starts to damage the parts of you that need to stay healthy. And what this card is asking is for you to protect your garden, to decide who gets to water it and how much. The next tea leaf card is a wall you built that needs to stay up. A wall you built that needs to stay up. And I feel like this is addressing something specific because I think some of you have already felt this, have already pulled back, have already created some distance, have already built a little wall and then felt guilty about it, and then started to lower it because this person made you feel like you were being unfair or cold or too much. And your guides are saying the wall you built was built correctly. It needs to stay up, not forever necessarily, but right now, while you figure out what is actually real here, that wall is not cruelty, it is wisdom. And the last tea leaf card is a clear road the moment you step back. A clear road the moment you step back. And this final tea leaf card is the universe's promise. Like the moment you step back from this person, the moment you create real space, the road ahead of you becomes clear. Like not eventually, not after a long process, but quickly, because so much of the confusion and the heaviness and the question marks in your life right now are being generated by proximity to this dynamic. And when you step back, things clear, and what you are meant to do next and who you are meant to be and where you are meant to go becomes visible again. Okay, final messages from your guides. 6 cards. You are not responsible for filling someone else's emptiness. You are not responsible for filling someone else's emptiness. And this is the most important message in the entire reading, because I think for some of you, the reason this connection has continued is because some part of you felt responsible for this person's well-being, their happiness, their healing. And your guides are saying, clearly and lovingly, that is not your job. You cannot fill what is empty in someone else by pouring yourself in. Their emptiness has nothing to do with you, and it is not yours to fix. Your only responsibility here is to yourself. The next final card is your kindness is not weakness. Your kindness is not weakness. And I say this because I feel like this person may have made you feel at some point that your openness was the problem, that your care was naive, that your willingness to give was something to be taken advantage of. And your guides are saying, no, your kindness is one of the most powerful things about you. The problem was never your kindness. The problem was the person it was directed at. And the solution is not to stop being kind. It is to direct your kindness toward people who know how to receive it with gratitude and return it in equal measure. The next final card is protecting yourself is an act of self-love. Protecting yourself is an act of self-love. And this message is so important because I think sometimes when we pull back from people, when we set boundaries, when we say no or not anymore or not like this, there is this guilt that comes with it. Like, am I being too hard on them? Am I being selfish? Am I abandoning someone who needs me? And your guides are saying, protecting yourself is not cruelty. It is not abandonment. It is not selfishness. It is love directed at yourself for once. And you deserve that love from yourself as much as you deserve it from anyone else. The next final card is the right people celebrate your light. They do not feed from it. The right people celebrate your light. They do not feed from it. And this is the contrast your guides want you to feel, because the difference between someone who celebrates your light and someone who feeds from it is everything. Someone who celebrates your light is energized by your energy, but gives back their own. They make you feel more of yourself, more alive, more expanded after being with them. And someone who feeds from your light leaves you dimmer, not because you gave too much, but because they only took and never replenished. And you deserve the celebrating kind, and they exist, and they are coming. The next final card is step back and watch the universe correct this. Step back and watch the universe correct this. And this message is so freeing because it is saying you do not have to fight this. You do not have to confront this dramatically. You do not have to make this person understand or change or become something they are not. You just step back, create distance, protect your energy, and let the universe do the rest. Because what the universe does with people who take more than they give is very precise and very consistent, and it does not need your help to execute it. And the very last card, what is yours cannot be taken by someone who was never meant to have it. What is yours cannot be taken by someone who was never meant to have it. And I want to close on this because it is the most reassuring thing your guides could say. Like, whatever this person has taken from you, your energy, your time, your emotional resources, your trust, cannot be permanently removed, because what is genuinely yours regenerates. It comes back. The energy returns, the trust returns, the openness returns, the light returns once the taking stops, and none of what was taken touches the deepest part of you. The part that is irreplaceable and permanent and entirely your own. So just to wrap everything up, the message of this reading is clear and caring and important. Please be careful from this selfish person. The Seven of Swords showed us their strategy. The Moon showed us what is hidden. The Devil showed us the pull. The Four of Cups and Five of Wands and Eight of Cups showed us the pattern. And the Three of Swords showed us the impact on your heart. And you, the High Priestess, the Strength card, the Emperor, already know, already have the power, already have the authority to protect yourself completely. Your kindness is not the problem. Your light is not the problem. And you are not responsible for someone else's emptiness. Step back, let the universe correct this, and watch how quickly the road ahead becomes clear. I hope this reading gave you the clarity and the permission that you needed today to choose yourself fully and without guilt, because you deserve that more than you know. If this resonated with you, please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, and it helps these messages reach more people who need them. Leave me a comment and let me know how this landed. I always love hearing from you, and do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you do not miss anything new. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take really good care of yourself. Protect your energy, trust your knowing, and please remember, what feeds from you cannot love you. And I will see you in the next reading. Bye, loves.